Getting a car was one of the most exciting moments of my life, but it also had a lot of challenges. I found a car on Facebook Marketplace, and from the start, I was set on getting a manual transmission. And the thing was, I'd actually never driven a manual before, but I love cars and I wanted to learn how to drive a manual. I live in Cookeville, which is about an hour away from Nashville, and one weekend, my mom and I drove out to look at the car that I found on Facebook, and my mom, who is an experienced driver, went to check it out, and she took it for a test drive, and she gave it her approval, saying that it was in good condition, and after that, I drove it home. I remember sitting in the driver's seat, feeling both excited and terrified, and every time I tried to shift, I stalled a lot at first, and I must have stalled 5, maybe 6 times just trying to get it going. And I could see my mom in the rearview mirror behind me, probably thinking, what did I get myself into? But despite the nerves and the stalling, I kept going. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, I got on the highway and started to get the hang of it. And the road seemed to open up in front of me. And I started to feel like I was actually driving. And by the time I made it back to Cookeville, I was relieved and proud of myself. And I had driven a manual car home, even though I barely had any idea of how to. And that day was a huge lesson for me about challenging myself, conquering my fears, and enduring tough situations. And not only was it about getting my first car, but it was also about showing that I could take on something new and do something that I love, even if I wasn't very good at it when I started.